Well, let's start talking about police.
Mm. We can be talking about police until Jesus comes back.
Police officers who fatally shot Eddie, I don't know how to say his name, Irizarry, faces murder, other charges.
Yeah.
Now, this is the story. I didn't know as much about it. I know you told me about it.
CNN,
but I heard something about they were asking his mom or somebody if they should show the tape,
the mother, family.
The cops tape, whatever
their camera,
they wear.
their footage.
And it shows that the cop was in wrong, and they didn't want people to start being violent and tearing the city down and all this. And she said, show it because even though it hurts, she don't want this to happen to somebody else.
Yeah, she wanted transparency.
She wanted transparency.
And the sad thing about it, we talked a little bit about the police officer, law enforcers yesterday as far as when they first was created in the 1800s.
To capture slaves.
Slave patrol. But the sad thing about this is my sister and I kept mentioning, with all that's been going on these last 3-4 years with the police, law enforcer, you would think every single officer will see tapes, hear stories.
You're on camera, why are you stupid?
Make a change. Do what you need to do at your offices to be retrained. Maybe sit down with somebody at your job as a psychiatrist to go, what's going on? Are you really upset about the crime and stuff? Because this was actually murder.
Yeah.
And he's a law enforcer.
So it says the police officer who fatally shot Eddie Irizarry during a traffic stop last month was charged with murder. The Philadelphia district attorney said Friday after releasing body camera footage of the extremely violent encounter. The unedited footage shows Officer Mark Dial firing into the car though the rolled up driver's side window, roughly 5 seconds after exiting a police car. Immediately before the officer fires 6 shots, an unidentified voice from outside the car is heard saying, "I will effing shoot you." Irizarry, bloodied and unresponsive, was pulled out of the car by an officer and then carried to the back of the patrol vehicle, in which he was rushed to a hospital. District Attorney Larry Krasner said that Irizarry's family saw the footage and asked that it be released in its entirety. These body-worn camera videos will be introduced into evidence, most likely at both the preliminary hearing and trial, Krasner said after releasing the footage. They are crucial evidence in the case, and in many ways, they speak for themselves. Dial, who turned himself in Friday morning, also faces charges of voluntary manslaughter, aggravated assault, simple assault, reckless endangering of another person, and official oppression. Dial's bail was set to $500,000. Where am I at? According to the district attorney's office, he did not enter a plea. He later posted bail, and a preliminary hearing was set for September 26.
They said that the police report did not match what actually happened. They said that he was out of the car. So they felt like that would give reason to
why would you write
shoot.
Something different than what your camera is showing?
And they said he had knives in the car, which he did.
What is he doing with knives in the car?
I don't know what the knives were for, but there was no knives were held at them, or he wasn't out of the car with a knife. And I'm thinking, does the cops not know they got a camera?
You got a camera on you.
And unless you Photoshopping stuff, that camera is really live. Your report should be very much close to what happened on that camera. We showed up. He wouldn't get out the car. Do something, at least be honest.
We thought that we saw him reaching for something.
Yeah, but he was in the car, and he may not have even heard them because his windows were up. So it was no reason to justify the shooting.
His defense attorney says, "We intend to vigorously defend him against the charges. Despite what has been portrayed in the media, the facts will unmistakably show that Officer Dial was legally justified in discharging his weapon while fearing for his life." So they're going to have to show why you did that when the man's window was still up and he was in the car. What did you see? What happened? that made you feel like you needed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, another attorney representing Dow said Friday his client believed that a gun was being pointed at him. Video evidence in this case, which were uncovered, demonstrates completely that Officer Dow got out of his car, ordered the dude to show his hands, and then heard a gun.
Gunshots.
Well, that should be easy to be proven, because then we'll see a gunshot in the car, won't we?
Oh, you mean the officer doing it, or the
No,
man
the guy
inside?
in the car. He had a gun. Did he have a gun?
They just said he had 9.
See, Krasner would not comment on whether an officer is heard in the audio saying that he had a gun. When you say that in the audio, you got a gun. Just before he was shot, you can hear observer holding a small open folding knife against his thigh. He then rolled up the driver's side window. Prosecutors said in the news release. Dow's gunshot shattered the driver's side glass and repeatedly struck him. I don't think we're saying anything more than the obvious when we say that firing 6 shots at a close range at a vital part of a person's body under law is strongly supported, together with evidence. So we'll see. The police union expressed full support for the officer. You know the union is going to speak for him.
They got to look up his background, too. What's his background?
They asked that the public remain peaceful in demonstrations and calls for accountability. Urge patience as a full, thorough investigation is being conducted.
We will see. Because that's why the mom wanted the footage released.
And why did he get pulled over?
Traffic violation.
What was the traffic violation?
It don't matter.
See? No, I'm saying what was the reason for pulling him over?
No, the point that people
was it a dirty license
I
plate?
don't know, but the fact that, remember the officer showed us a big, thick book of traffic violations. Traffic violation to me means you didn't kill nobody. You didn't stab anybody. You didn't violate anybody. You did something that deals with traffic. Sticker, something that's expired, dirty license plates like she was pulled over for.
Yeah.
Why would your life be taken because of that?
The other thing, too, that hurts the police is that you lied.
Yeah.
You said he was out of his car.
Right.
And your camera shows he wasn't.
And they pulled up. When you see the video, they pulled up. The windows was up. He was in the car.
You would have maybe had some people on your side if you would have said he got out of the car and I thought he had a gun. Yeah. But it was a knife.
Right.
You would have, why lie? They doing the same thing to O.J. Simpson.
Right.
The man already did it. It was ridiculous. He did it. And you didn't have to take the glove from one place and put it at his house.
The moment they tampered with
when
evidence,
you do that, it's over.
And that has got a lot of people off because their police reports are fabricated.
It's fabricated.
So please.
And you could be absolutely, like I told you, I'm not against the police. You could be absolutely correct in thinking that knife was a gun. But don't lie and say he got out of the car and you fired on him. You are a liar. Right. Just say, I walked over, I was getting ready to tell him to roll his window down. He didn't want to roll his window down. I saw a metal sharp object on the side of him. He went to lift it up. I thought it was a gun.
Because he technically could have had the gun in his hand like the officer said.
Yes.
And he could have shot the officer.
And I think the community would understand you rising up a metal object and I'm at your car. I'm going to think you're getting ready to fire. I'm not going to let you fire on me. But to say he got out of the car, I'm sorry. Y'all can't keep doing that.
But it keeps going back to what I said too. Traffic violation.
Traffic. What is the traffic violation?
Expired license plates. What was it?
Thank you. So that's all I'm saying. They keep lying when they do that. They mess it up.
Worse, yeah.
Cotillia says, hi, ladies and mom. I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, Cotillia.
Hey, everybody.
Kiki says he was a handyman. He used the knives for work. And he didn't speak much English.
That's why I was saying he may not
He probably didn't even understand what they were saying.
And that's going to happen a lot.
It's going to happen a lot. Why can't you speak Spanish? If you see somebody, if he looks Spanish, I know you can say maybe somebody don't look Spanish.
Stereotype.
But if you pull over and you say in your horn, get out the car, put your hands on the whatever, Why can't you say it in Spanish? We go to Home Depot and everything is done in Spanish.
Yeah, that's true.
When you call AT&T, yo en español.
But you know what?
Oh, if you speak English, dial 1. They do both.
You know what? A good lawyer will get that person off because they said they didn't read them their memorandum rights.
Mm-hmm.
That person don't speak English. And they can get off because that's why I said we really need to be careful when we're dealing with people from other countries and you're not still doing what you need to do in your job.
Kiki says he accidentally went down a one-way street. That was why they pulled him over. Wow. So you decide that you need force because somebody went down the wrong street. That makes no. Here's my thing. If I was a police officer, and I don't know why I have to still say this in 2023, you're a moron, whoever this guy is. Mm-hmm. I'm not pulling my gun out unless I know I need to.
Yes.
I ain't touching no gun. If I was a police officer, with all these people being sued and saying I'm racist and stuff,
I don't want to go to jail.
I ain't pulling no gun out unless I have to.
If it's my life is involved in danger,
I'm gonna sit right here in this car. And I'm gonna find somebody who speak English or Spanish, and I'm gonna have them come, and then you gonna tell him to get out the car. If I don't speak Spanish, you're gonna tell him to get out of that car. Now, if he don't want to get out of that car, then I'm gonna call my commander. One of y'all need to come. He don't want to get out the car. I'm not pulling my gun out. The man was simply pulled. He was going down the wrong way street, and I want him to put his hands up. He's not putting his hands up. He probably doesn't even speak English. I'm not taking any chances. Now, if y'all want to send a drone in and crack his window and knock him out with gas, I don't care. Yes. I'm not going anywhere near that car unless somebody else comes here and assists me. Why can't they do that?
I don't know why. It's been how many years now we've had these issues?
Now, I get a phone call. There's a murder suspect driving a red car with the license plate such and such. I pull him over. All blast is coming out.
But you know what? Even with that, they still got to be careful. Because
no, I'm careful, but I'm going to be way more careful. He's a murder suspect.
Yeah, there's someone who had just taken a life that we got to make sure he don't take any more lives.
He ain't taking mine,
including ours. But that situation fits the level of now I need a weapon. I need a taser or I need
all my weapons together. I need another person. I got him. He pulled over. I need another police car. Y'all need to get in front of him so he don't drive off. We're going to block him in. He's a murder suspect. Right. He ain't getting out. He ain't getting out and running. No, that's different. A guy going down the wrong side of the street. You got to pull all that force out for that.
Yeah.
See?
Every time they use that gun. Now, this next one is even, like you're saying, this is a little tougher.
Well, that's why I said I'm going to do all the police one right now. So I don't have to do them anymore.